Hey everybody, Billy here. I wanted to talk to you today about your feelings being prayers, your actual feelings. Feelings that are a result of what you're thinking are energy. It's kind of like calling out to the universe, and whatever you're feeling, your emotions, that's like a strong current, a vibration, a frequency that goes out and matches to whatever matches that, right? And calls it back to you. So, whether we realize it or not, our feelings literally are like prayers we put out there. And this is something I heard uh, Greg Braden say. I actually was listening to Speaking the Lost Language of God that a very good friend of mine let me borrow. And, she said it's really important right now for these times. And I know this is pretty old. I don't even know what year it was made. But, like, wow, when I listened to it, how amazing. And so Greg Braden's famous for kind of bridging the spirituality and with science, explaining it scientifically and always bringing up studies to kind of back it up. And, this is stuff that, we really need to take a listen to. And he was giving the example of, years ago when, transcendental meditation was a big thing. Many of you know it. But it was brought to us or made popular by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. So you can always look him up. And they had done experiments. Basically, let me just back up here. First, he said something very powerful. Maharishi Yogi here, made a very flat statement. And it was, and this kind of blows me away too, all occurrences, all occurrences of violence, negativity, conflict, crisis in any given society is an expression of the stress in the mass consciousness. That's pretty powerful. So all occurrences of violence, negativity, crisis, stress, and we're seeing that happening out there in the world, is a result of stress in the mass consciousness. What is mass consciousness? We're all connected. Our feelings, our energy is all vibration. We feel each other. There's a cloud of everyone's thoughts and feelings that comes together, right? So if the majority of the people are in fear and stressed out, you're going to end up having some kind of occurrences of violence because it's unexpressed emotion. So, how can we combat this? How do we create peace on earth when all this stuff is happening? Well, the experiment that they did goes back to the 1980s during the Middle East War. And so basically, many practitioners who were trained in creating peace within their body, not praying for peace. That's like hoping peace will come. Oh, I pray for peace. You're basically saying or speaking from a place of lack. You're declaring that there is no peace now, right? But I pray for peace. Well, you know what? Whatever you're feeling is the energy you're really going out to. And isn't it funny how we tend to pray when things are really bad? We don't do it when it's good. But meanwhile, our prayers are, are the calling card, and it's based on your feelings. So ideally, we want to have the peace within us, and then spread that. Just be the peace, let that vibrate out. And so imagine if a bunch of people came together and meditated together at the same time, even if they're not in the immediate same location, but if they came together for the same intention, wow, that would ripple out. So anyway, they did an experiment way back then during the war, and they took a bunch of people who were really trained in creating peace in their body. They knew how to do it no matter what was going on around them. And when they were in that area, let's say, during that time while they were doing their meditation, whatever happened on the outside, bombing was going on, but the bombing stopped. The terrorists, basically stopped during that time of meditation. Coincidence? I think not. And even hospital visits declined. Like different things were happening. There's a full study that you can look up from the Journal of Conflict Resolution, and I have it on my email if you're reading that, where you can actually look up the link and check out this study. Pretty darn amazing. So basically what happens is if you reach a threshold, if enough people meditate together, right? And they have this peace, and that's now their feeling within them, and that's the feeling that vibrates out, and they join together, and that feeling just grows and multiplies and goes out there. So how many people do you think it would take? Well, during their study, they found out that all it takes is the square root of 1% of any given population. Wow. So what does that mean? So let's say you have a population, talk about a city, right? A giant city of 1 million people. What it comes down to is it would only take 100 people in that city in one moment to meditate, to create that threshold where then not just is the peace inside them, but then the outer world, it ripples out and it changes the vibration, and then there's peace on the outside, right? And they had other experiments where, the control group of the meditators, and then they would bring in a bunch of angry people. So the angry people, were there, and then they invited them in the room, and they told them, stay angry. And, I wasn't there, but you can look up the studies, and sure enough, they couldn't be angry. It didn't work. It was an opposite energy. Because in truth, we all really want peace. We want joy. But we were so, now for hundreds of years, in this place of separation and duality and fear-based stuff, lack this, I'm not good enough. That's what everything comes down to, right? It's been so brainwashed into us through everything that it's our go-to. It's what we know. But deep inside, we're powerful creator beings. As far as I know, we all have a spark of the divine inside. That's the creator. So we are the powerful creators here on behalf, right? We were brought here by the creator to create. Create what? Peace. Peace on earth. Healing. Bring this planet restored back to love, to peace, to joy. So I say, let's get together. Let's meditate together. Find groups. Let's do this. And today is July 18th. And actually in 2 days, I am on the 20th, July 20th, 2021. I'm offering another online Zoom 6-week course of connecting and just learning how to meditate, learning to let go, learning to connect with your higher self, with your guide. And each one of those is going to have a very powerful meditation where not only are you creating healing within you and your life, but we're going to come together as a group, and we're going to intend a lot of wonderful things: peace, healing. They say there's no accident we're here. We each have a mission and a purpose. So, let's just sink into that. Let's be peaceful together. And when you don't try so hard, when you allow peace to rule your inner world, peace will be on the outer world. And I'm sure you've heard it before. We all already have all the answers inside. Well, if we're rushing, doing our long lists of whatever, it's hard to tap into that. It's hard to get the answers we're searching for. But when you slow down, or you learn to slow down, and you get into that peaceful place, the answers just come. You will get those downloads, You're much more powerful and much more magical than you have any idea, and that you give yourself credit for. So hopefully you join me, and love to see you, chat with you on Zoom. Join us for our hour together, and let's bring peace and love back to the world. So anyway, wishing you a blissful day. See you soon.